Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, August 2nd edition of the Contributor Comms team meeting. A reminder, we do operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. At the beginning of the meeting here, we like to offer an opportunity for anyone on the call to introduce themselves, totally optional. I will kick things off. I'm Caslin Fields, and I am a co-chair of the Special Interest Group for Contributor Experience, which is the parent group of this one. This meeting is for the Contributor Comms subproject. And our purpose in this group is to make sure that contributors within the Kubernetes community know what's going on in the community, and also that folks externally know about the awesome work that contributors are doing. And we achieve that using a variety of means, including social media, blogs, and all sorts of things. And my pronouns are she, her. And would anyone else like to introduce themselves? Totally optional.
Hey, I'm Sylvester Carolan. I'm actually part of the Minikube contributors group and the ContribEx group, and I'm trying to participate in the comms group too, just to help out where I can. That's it.
Love to see it. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves?
Hello everyone. My name is Arvind. I've been part of the ContribEx group for some time now. I'm the one of the blogging shadows and the com shadow for KCSN. And yeah, just here to contribute, help out, and meet awesome people. Thank you.
Love it. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves? Totally optional.
Hi everyone, I am Ritual and I am also a contributor here. And I have been part of this for around 4 or 5 months. So that's all.
Anyone else today? All right, we will move on ahead into our agenda then. This is a very casual call. If at any point you want to pop in and say hello or ask a question or anything, please do feel free. One more housekeeping item before I move on. Would anyone like to be the note taker today? The role of the note taker is to tune into the conversation and whatever you catch from the conversation, just record it in the notes so that anyone who didn't attend the meeting today has something to review to get the highlights of what we went over. Would anyone like to be the note taker today?
I would like to step up for it today.
Yeah.
But apologies in advance if anything goes wrong.
No worries. The reality is that it's a group effort and folks will kind of pop in to add their own takes on things and stuff, but it's really good to have someone who's like focused on trying to do it. So thank you, Arvind, for being our note taker today. Let me record that in the notes. I suppose I could have had you do that, but all right. And with that, we will hop into our agenda. I put one thing on the list here for new items. As we have discussed a little bit in Slack, Blue Sky is now supported on Buffer. I was going to say that the other way and then got confused. But yes, Buffer now supports Blue Sky. So Blue Sky is one of the many Twitter alternatives that was created by Jack Dorsey, who was like a prominent figure in Twitter at one point. It's a little bit of a different design. It has a little bit more of the DNA of the federated solutions like Mastodon, but it's also a little bit closer to Twitter. It's just one of those other venues. I do see a considerable tech community on there when I go on there, which is not super frequent. I do kind of like it personally myself. So we have to decide now if we want to try that. to review some of the conversation that's been going on in Slack, each channel that we add to Buffer, so basically each account that we manage using Buffer, costs $10 per month per channel. And we currently have what, like 4? Yeah, we currently have 4 channels. We have 2 Twitter accounts, a Mastodon account, and LinkedIn. So if we add this on, that's yet another $120 a year, which we can request from the CNCF, but we're not sure how much traction we'll get on Blue Sky yet. I think it'll be pretty good, but we kind of have to try it to find out. So one thing we were saying in Slack is that we could go ahead and create the Blue Sky account without adding it to Buffer and kind of use it manually for a little bit and see what kind of traction it gets. So that's an option to consider. Any questions, comments?
Yeah, just, what is Buffer?
Buffer is the tool that we use to manage all of our social media accounts. It's a
Like a
social
hub.
media federation, hub kind of tool.
Right.
If you're in this group, you're welcome to be on it if you'd like to. If I just hit login, will it log me in? Yeah, I can give you a little overview here.
Sure.
So this is what it looks like. Schedule post to Blue Sky, now available. So this is really nice because we can add folks from our group to our Buffer team, and you would log in with your own account. I have my own account here as well, and I can just switch over to the Kate's contributors organization within Buffer. And then, so I've got all of my personal accounts up here, and then I've got all of the Kubernetes accounts down here. And then here, there's a couple of different ways that creating a post can work. I have full admin access, so I can write a post and then just directly add it to the queue. But most members of our team have approval needed access. So anyone on our team is always welcome to go ahead and write a tweet that you would like to send out and just let us know. And we'll either review it and give you feedback, make small edits, and approve or reject it. So you can't do anything wrong with the social media through Buffer, but you have access to use it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I also wanted to show.
So you do one post and it goes out to those, all those, had them grayed out, right? Twitter and LinkedIn I saw on there as well.
Oh yeah, you can do a post, to as many of the channels as you want.
Got it. Right.
I think it doesn't like it when you try to do both Twitters at the same time, so you have to do that separately. But most folks in our group do not have access to the Kubernetes IO Twitter anyway. So most folks, you'd only see these 3.
Good.
And then, and it allows you to customize for each network. So since each one has a different character limit and things like that, you can fix that stuff here too. Sorry, question?
Oh, good. That looks nice. Thank you.
Welcome. Questions, comments about Buffer and or Blue Sky?
Is Blue Sky still invite only, or is it open to all now?
I think it's open to everyone now.
Yeah, I've got an account on there too that I rarely use, but I logged on just to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it became open to everyone like a month or 2 ago. Thank you. Good question. Any other questions, comments? Cool. Reminder on Buffer. If you want access to Buffer, if you want to help with social media posts, I highly encourage it. You're not going to mess anything up. So if you don't have a Buffer account, let me know and I'll get you one. And if you have a Buffer account, feel free to use it.
I'll put my hand up and say, yes, please. Yep.
Just DM me on Slack with your email that you want added.
Okay.
It'll send you
Thanks.
an invite to join the platform.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool. If there are no other notes about Blue Sky and Buffer, then any updates, big wins folks want to talk about? All right. Sounds like maybe this will be a quick one into the board. Maybe I'll remember something halfway through the board that we also need to talk about. We'll see. Oh, actually, one other thing that I will bring up before we move into the board, because I don't think it's in the board at the moment. Election comms. Arpit, last time we discussed election comms, and you said that you were up for being the point of contact for that. We should probably just discuss it more on Slack and kind of come up with a plan there. But I wanted to bring it up so that we're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I contacted Bridget regarding this, how
Perfect.
they are working. And I actually my mic is not working before. So actually, I want to know which social handles we are comfortable posting about lesson forms. Is Kubernetes IO is the one Kate's contributor, and should I also draft a post on LinkedIn as well?
Yeah, so this is primarily for a contributor audience because the election, you must be an org member in order to vote in the election. So our primary audience for the majority of communications is going to be contributors, but since steering is like the top body of the whole project, there may be a message or two that we do want to send out to end users. So I think for average communications, definitely Kate's contributors on Twitter and Mastodon. LinkedIn, I think I'm fine with using as well. There's more end users there, but also we just don't get a lot of interaction there. I think it'd be fine to post about it there. We can decide as we kind of get some of the messages figured out. But definitely Kate's contributor accounts. There might be one or two that we want to put on Kubernetes IO as well. So that could be a good experience for you.
Because this time I am not writing mails. Bridget told me that email writing is something she is taking care of. I have the responsibility of writing all the social stuff.
Yeah, that is a good point. We should sync up with Bridget more on like what goes where and who does what. Because yeah, Bridget is welcome to create the messages and send the messages herself if she wants to. We can get her an account. But there might be specific comms that we want to send. Like if we're going to send anything on Kubernetes IO, we should probably manage that.
So I don't have access to a LinkedIn account as well as the
Yeah, I can fix that on Buffer. Thank you. Yeah, let's discuss that more on Slack. Is there anything in particular, though, beyond that we want to mention with the election comms? I think the announcement for the election just came out this morning, my time.
And I have to draft the social media post for that, but I don't have access to all the so I figured out let me ask you first before we.
Gotcha. Ping me on Slack so that I remember to get you access to those. This is a good opportunity to fix that. Perfect. And thank you for taking those notes, Arvind. Doing a great job. Yeah, I think the announcement about the elections was on probably the dev mailing list. And then there's info in the GitHub repo. So if we wanted to go find those links, we could throw those in the notes, but worry about that later. If there are no other questions about the election, which will be held, I think it'll finish up a little bit before KubeCon. Probably finishes up in October, but I haven't checked. So if there are no other questions about that, then I will go on ahead into our board. Starting with the ready for review column, we have the shadowing guide. Is Federico on at the moment? Looks like no. Oh, yes, yes. There you are.
I am. Yeah, sorry, I'm.
You were down at the bottom of my list.
Now it's so the shadowing guide, I think it's merged as far
Oh,
as
yeah,
I
it
know.
is.
So we should just move it to done.
Good point. Yay. Thank you for doing that. I'm excited that we have that new shadowing guide, and it's a living document, can always be edited further, but we've got a good
Starting
level on
point,
it
yeah.
now. Yeah. Wonderful. The next one is also you, Frederico. SIG API machinery spotlight article.
Mm. Let me check. I had okay, SIG API machinery. Yeah, so that one is still rescheduled, and no update from reviewers there. So nothing to add. It's
Looks like it's back to needing an LGTM, right? So I can
yeah,
go
but
ahead
even
and...
after that, yeah, you can and you should. Thank you for that. But
Yep.
last time we also had that one, but it still requires an additional improvement, I think.
Well, it's got a hold on it so that it won't just go. It also doesn't
But
have approval on it, but I could do
that's
that.
the thing. Yeah.
Should I go ahead and do that for you? Because I have reviewed it. I know you just updated the date. Cool.
Yes. And there's another one in website which is also linked to that one. And Tim already said that it was good to go.
Let's see here.
And yeah, and it was just requiring an hold.
Yep. So this one is LGTM'd and approved. As soon as whoever needs to does the unhold, it'll be good to go.
Yeah.
And then we don't have the link to the website one, the dev site one in the board. I'm guessing it's somewhere on this page.
Yeah, it's in the beginning, perhaps. You're opening the contributor site or so on that one.
This one is the contributor site one, actually, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a related one there. Let me see.
Well, if I can be of help on the other one, I'm happy to do that as well.
If you search for websites, it will you will see. Yeah, it's there. Updated publication date.
Perfect. Just happened to stop on it. All right, so this is also in the same spot. I guess I can approve this. Yeah. Lovely. So I'm going to go ahead and LGTM and approve this one as well. I reviewed it earlier and I know you just updated the date. All right, so both of those have all of the approvals that they need. They just need to be unheld. Cool. And then ready for review, we also have the spotlight on SIG scheduling. That's new to review, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is. 1 second, scheduling.
This is
yes, we had already an initial overview by Arvind, which is actually the one, the author of the spotlight. Is Arvind here? If he is,
Yeah.
So go on then. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this PR was made, I guess last week only. So we have edited and I've reviewed it. Just some minor comments. I think if we can get more reviews on that one, I think it's ready to be merged.
Remember that you're going to have to fix that invalid commit message issue before you.
And yeah, not sure how, because
Yeah.
if you go into the commit messages,
Yeah.
there's nothing there. And I've rebased and changed the commit message. So and I am not sure how to restart that check.
There's a flag that you can do to rerun the tests.
Which is
I don't know.
I'll yeah, I looked for
re minus test usually.
yeah, but,
Retest, is that what it is? Let's see if it works. It looks like it's running. Some checks haven't completed yet. All right, we'll see if that fixes it. In the past, I know that I have given up and redone the PR. Hopefully we won't have to do that.
no, I mean, if this keeps up, there's an error in the Kate CI robot, so it might be worth raising a flag there, because closing and opening up a CR because of this, I prefer the aggravation of having a long discussion around how this should be fixed than starting a new one.
That is understandable. And better for the project.
Yeah, true.
I think the command is retest without
Retest.
the hyphen.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right one, but I do think it's also running anyway, but I will do that as well. Looks like it restarted the run, I think. I think both of them might work actually.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
checked the Pro website and it had retest without the hyphen mentioned. So I think that was the right one, but I guess both works.
Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it just, I don't know. Anyway, so retest without the hyphen.
I'll track this one anyway. So I've removed the work in progress from the title and obviously from the label as well. So docs will also drop in shortly and give it a review. So I think there's one where it's on the pipeline.
Perfect. All right. I put that on my to-do list to actually review the content later and give you your LGTMs. All right. Thank you very much for your work on that. Any other questions, comments about the Spotlight on SIG scheduling? Wonderful. We will move on to our next item then. And I think that's it for the ready for review column. So from here, we'll move into the in progress column. Wow, we're moving right along today. Excellent. So top of the in progress column, we need to do an audit of who has access to buffer. So if you want buffer access, great time. Just let us know. Happy to have more folks contributing to social media. But I need to wait for Chris to be available for us to get together and do that again. I mean, I could just do it myself. Maybe I'll just do that, actually. I'm going to write that down on my to-do list, at least to do an initial pass. But Chris and I do still need to get together to check that and probably also update all of our owners' files because those need updating. Buffer audit. I take physical notes, otherwise I will not remember anything. Sensitive communications process. So this is an ongoing effort to try to create a guide for any kind of sensitive comms, like comms about security vulnerabilities or particularly impactful deprecations or removals of tools for the contributor community or all sorts of things. And so it's mostly a guide around like make sure that you're thinking about your audience and I don't know, stuff like that. So there's a draft document on this, and we were trying to make some progress on it. I haven't looked at it recently.
I think I still need to resolve comments there. I'm not sure. I will take this with me.
Sounds good. And there's another version of our reminder to work on that, so that's good. It's also kind of related to the Kubernetes IO access guide, which is not on here yet, which I think also needs your review at the moment.
Yeah.
Cool. Next item is promote new contributor workshop content. We decided a few weeks ago that we're gonna just go ahead and do that. Oh yeah. I made a comment last week, I guess, that it would be great to align the promotion of the new contributor workshop content with the new contributor orientation monthly meeting series that I'm trying to spin up. I did create a slide deck for that this week, and I sent it to Mario, Arvind, and Sandeep because they wanted to be involved with reviewing that and checking that out. If other folks are interested in that effort, let me know.
Have you gave us access? Because I think the main problem was that no one had access.
Yeah, on the first day, but I fixed it yesterday.
Okay, great.
Arvind has reviewed it.
I'd like to see it as well, actually, if you don't mind, just to have interest. And,
Yeah.
you know,
I think
I
maybe
think
a lot of
I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of all this now.
Wonderful. And a question from Nitish.
Yeah, Gaslin, I just wanted to know that how is this new contributor workshop content different from the, I think the meeting that is generally hosted by the SIG docs, which is I think that happens on the first generally on the first week of every single month. I think it's a new contributor ambassador meeting that happens by SIG docs every single month. So I'm just
Yeah,
trying
but
to
this is just for SIG docs. So this is for new contributors to SIG docs. And what we are going, what we try to achieve is that we want to have something that is not SIG docs specific,
okay.
but general. So for people that generally are interested in what part of Kubernetes the Kubernetes project might fit for them.
Okay, makes sense. Got it. Thank you.
And the new contributor workshop content that we're actually talking about in this item on the board is kades.dev/guide, the new contributor guide on the dev site. Originally, we wanted to have GitHub Codespaces integration in that before we really started to promote it widely, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So we should go ahead and tell people that that guide exists on kades.dev. So this is actually about promoting that. But yeah, we also wanted to spin up that meeting. And my idea with that meeting is to share it in the new contributors channel on Slack and just kind of widely open to the public. Anyone who's interested in contributing to Kubernetes, here's a basic overview of the project, how it works, how to find a SIG to work in, that kind of stuff. Does that sound
Great
different?
initiative. Yep.
Cool. I've never attended the SIG Docs one, so but I do want to tell the co-chairs, the chairs of other SIGs about this before we do it, because I want to include any calls for help that they have, and also just make sure that they know about it. So I probably would have found out about that then. So this is good to know early.
I did attend the SIG Docs one, and yeah, Nitish is right that most of the folks that come there are looking for ways to get involved with Kubernetes in general. But
What I
that
thought.
call is particular to SIG Docs. So basically, Sri Ram has to remind occasionally everyone that this is particularly for SIG Docs. So this our call would be helpful for new contributors looking to get involved. So great effort.
Perfect. Thank you for the feedback. Useful. Cool. So as we get that kind of sorted out, we should also do some separate social media messages about the new contributor workshop content on Kates.dev. That's a plan. All right, moving on. Arpit, Steering Spotlight blog. Any updates there?
Yeah. So I will send them the doc next week because it's Friday right now. I think
Perfect.
over the weekend anyway.
I'm going to go ahead and put that in as an update. Clarify it'll say that on it. I'll just say that. Excellent. And it'll be really nice to have a Steering Spotlight blog leading into the election. Because people don't know what steering does. So thank you very much for picking that up, Arpit. The next item then is the SIG UI Spotlight, which is Arujval. Any updates there, Arujval? I saw that you updated in Slack as well.
No, they haven't responded yet.
But you've sent the questions is where you're at right now, right?
No, I actually asked that should I take or not, and they haven't responded yet.
Oh, gotcha. So the current request is, should we do it? Very good. I'm curious to see how that goes because I don't know anything about that SIG.
They don't seem interested because I have like asked them 3 weeks back and I haven't got any response.
Okay. Maybe they're not very active.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Thank you for checking into it though, because that's good to learn as well. That might be something that we need to look into.
Just on this, did you ask the channel in general, or did you went directly to the shares or leads?
I went to their channel and I pinged the co-chairs of that. SIG.
Yeah, perfect.
Both.
That's exactly, yeah. Okay, so I was going to suggest something, but you've covered it all. So yes, that's it. I'm saying this because sometimes I only ping the channel and then it gets lost, but that's why pinging the shares is important. But in that case, I mean, there's little more than you can do except repeat it once or twice and then just assume that they are not interested.
I actually think they are not interested, so maybe
Yeah,
I can
okay.
move on to
Something else, yes.
Yeah, definitely feel free.
I would say though, I would leave a message saying that actually. So because sometimes people, when they see that others are moving on, they suddenly feel more attachments. Kubernetes is like real life, apparently. So I mean, do what you prefer. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to in the channel or as a follow-up in the thread just say, right, so I'm assuming you're not interested. Have a great rest of your life at whatever. So keep on. We'll move on to other things, and that's it. If you're up to it, if you feel that this is not worth it, just silently drop it. It would be my suggestion as well.
Arpit also has a good suggestion in the chat. If they have any SIG meetings, you might try and pop into one of those as a final check, unless you just want to move on, which you are welcome to do.
Okay, I will try to contact them in the meeting.
If they have one, might as well check. Thank you very much, Arujval. But also feel free to pick up another one if you want something to do and that's just kind of on hold. That is a common state for SIG Spotlight. So having a couple going at the same time is definitely something that can be done.
Yeah, sure.
When you say that,
Thanks.
Keslin, sorry to jump in. When you say pick another one up from the to-do column, you mean?
So we had this discussion last week and we still haven't fixed it.
All right.
Very
Sorry, I was
sorry.
missed last week.
No worries. Very, very sorry to Akansha who had asked about that last week, but we
Oh, I didn't get you. Like I can't work on the Gates InfraSig spotlight, or can
no,
I?
I'm apologizing for not giving you a list of SIGs that haven't been done yet.
Oh, no, yeah, that's okay.
So Sylvester was asking where to pick up SIG spotlights from. So we discussed last week that we do have a list of spotlights that have been done before in the repo, but it's not up to date. And we don't have a list of SIGs that have not been done within the last 2 years that we maintain. So we were saying that we do need to probably put them in the to-do column. Yeah, and update that list on the GitHub repo as well.
Which I've done partially during the last week.
Nice.
But not until the stage where I've updated the to-do list. So I'm halfway there. I've actually shared this on our Slack channel. So I have in my private fork already 5 additional spotlights, and I'm working through the rest. So I would say that perhaps next week it's already in comprehensive enough to be able to add the missing ones in the column, because I wanted to avoid adding anything until I had the actual picture of it in the GitHub file.
Wonderful. I hadn't seen that. Thank you for pointing that out. So I'm in your fork
You're
right
welcome.
now, and this is, where's the list? This one. There we go. So you can see the list here of ones that we have done. It's quite the list.
Yeah. And I had 3 or 4 of them, and I have at least 3 or 4 more here to add. But it's mostly converting into table, which isn't
You know,
very
something that
fun.
no one has done yet. I don't think we've ever done a spotlight on a working group. We could do that as well.
No.
So
Yeah,
a
working
working
groups
group.
are fair.
Yeah. So a working group is kind of at the same level as a SIG. It tends to have SIGs as kind of owners, but a working group is a group that spins up to address a specific area for a temporary time. SIGs are basically, this is going to exist forever until we decide that it doesn't need to anymore, which we do actually have one that is going to get cleaned up pretty soon. Cloud provider, since we don't have any entry cloud provider code anymore, will probably be removed. But working groups, we have working group long-term support. There's a group that's discussing matters around the community for that. And we've got working group serving, working group device management are a couple of new ones. There's a working group etcd controller, I think. Some kind of etcd specific working group. So they're kind of a similar level of SIGs, but they're temporary. But they are also fair game for spotlights. Cool. All right. Thank you very much, Federico, for making progress on that. I know that I didn't. So I really appreciate you doing that, being an absolute boss as usual.
Thank you. No, I'm still missing several ones, but I think a couple of days more and it will be in a better state.
Perfect. And we'll get the to-do list sorted out with ones that are
exactly.
claimable. And cool. And Rushfall is interested in taking on a working group. Yeah, take a look at the list and see if there's one in particular that you'd like to do. Actually, I have the new contributor meeting slides up here. I might go over those if we have time here at the end. And I have the list of working groups in there. Yeah, so if you want to take that on, that'd be wonderful. I think I had something else I was going to say, but I lost it. Normal. Oh, and then updating the to-do list of SIGs. I already said that. Cool. If you have any questions about SIG spotlights, please feel free to reach out to us anytime on Slack. All right. Next item in the in progress column is the SIG architecture spotlight articles. Enhancements.
Which one, sorry?
Enhancement spotlight article.
Yes.
SIG architecture.
Yes. Let me see if I not mix things up. Yeah, still doing the final touches on the markdown and opening the PR shortly.
Perfect.
That didn't move a lot from last week when I got the answers like Friday, so I've been working on the markdown since then, and a couple of more days and it will be open.
Perfect. And I remembered what the other thing I was going to say is that even if something has been done before, we're happy to help folks find a way to do more content about that SIG if they're particularly interested in one area. So if you want to do spotlights, just let us know, is the moral of the story. And the next one is also you, Federico. SIG at CD.
SIG at CD, they did a comeback this week and apologize for the lack of feedback. They're taking a bit more time, but at least, well, they said something, so it's still on their side of the court, but delayed. But it's they are responsive, so that's the status.
Wonderful. And the next one is SIG apps, which is Sundapan. Looks like.
Yes, the six chairs have shared their responses to the most of the questions, but some are still remaining, so waiting for that. And I will ping them once. That's it.
Awesome. Glad to see this making progress. I know that you've been very busy, but appreciate your work. I look forward to seeing more updates. Excuse me. The next item is the SIG Docs Spotlight, which is also ARPIT. Any updates there, ARPIT?
We'll send the document.
Cool. So to be sent out next week as well. I'll add that in here. I'm super inconsistent with how I do these. Questions to be sent next week. The next one is also you, ARPIT. It was the Cube CTL Spotlight.
Yeah, regarding CTL one, I will complete it after these two will be published. I am working on it, like it's not a spotlight.
Cool.
I haven't reached out to the SIG chairs for this one. I'm just figuring out like whom to reach regarding this. Maybe I will reach out to SIG CLI and like Tom.
Cool. So you're doing some initial research into it and planning for this one to kind of come after the other two. Sounds like. Is that a good summary? Cool. Focus on a bit after apps and the other one. We'll go with that. Updated comment. Next item, the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group plus Kubernetes blog post. This is Sandeep, and Sandeep is not on today, but he's a member of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group at the CNCF level, and he's also, of course, a Kubernetes contributor. So he wanted to do a blog post spotlighting the work that the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group has been doing, and I suggested that he put a particular focus on how folks from the Deaf and Hard of Hearing community maybe could get involved with Kubernetes, or talking about his experience, something to tie the Kubernetes community into it. So he is figuring that out. We'll get more updates on that another time. Next item, notify comms team when a new issue is created. This is basically an evergreen thing we're just always trying to find better ways to make sure that we know when issues are created in GitHub. We had some stuff going on with this, Mario.
This should be auto resolved once we have the new comms request merged. This is also with me. I need to change the name of the file so that it's no longer marketing request, it's comms request, because it was called marketing request.
Right.
And obviously, we are not marketing.
Well, one could make the argument, but I think comms is better.
Oh, if we get budget for doing stuff like, I don't know, send stuff around,
Campaigns.
yeah, then we can
fair.
start calling us marketing. Until then, no.
I like that perspective. Cool. So,
yeah, it's with me.
Implementing a new issue template. I'll say Mario is. Cool. Thank you for that update. Excited to see that. Always a good thing for us to work on. The next item is guidelines for usage of the Kubernetes IO Twitter. There was actually an item on here for that, but we already mentioned it. Anything else you wanted to mention about that, Mario? I think just need to check it out. Right?
Not really. I mean, we also have the other topic with which is the AI usage thingy thing.
Oh.
But there I never got feedback after the discussion, so maybe I will just repost the what should we do now question, because I think that we are stuck with some of the folks want super specific tool set, so what is allowed to use, what is not allowed to use, and some of the folks said that we should keep it more open. And I think it's still stuck on this discussion level.
Right. That's largely in coordination with SIG docs, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's SIG docs,
docs
leads, and comms, and some ContribEx folks.
Yeah. I've kind of avoided that. I should probably get more into that conversation. Good point. Do you want us to track that in our board? It is relevant to us.
I think it would potentially make sense because we already wrote something, right?
Okay. I'm just going to put in an item here for AI rules so that we'll keep an eye on that for all of the times that we get to the bottom of that column.
Yeah, to be brutally honest, I would potentially just say that maybe we should just move it into a PR so that people can actively discuss it outside of a Google Doc, because currently it's a Google Doc.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Depending on, yeah, we can discuss. Thank you for remembering that and for trying to push it along. It is important. And then the last thing in that column is the comms team social media lead shadow structure, which I've been putting some thought into lately. I think the work that Arpit you're doing with the elections will kind of inform that work. So hopefully we'll make some progress on that. Cool. And we have 5 minutes left. There's one spotlight suggestion in the to-do column. SIG hates infra. I think this was something in particular. It doesn't say anything. Oh, it was about the registry
Yeah,
change?
like I wanted to get it assigned like in the last meeting I said that I will take this up. So I was working on the questions and
perfect.
There's a specific topic to this, because this is not only a spotlight thing. This is also for the what happened last year, because some of the different companies that are sponsoring are interested that it basically the story is getting told so that they can tell the story on their platform as well. And I have been bugged by some of those folks, but I couldn't come around to this. And I discussed, Kesslin, this was when you were on vacation. Then Chris basically reached out to me if I will have time for this eventually, and then I said maybe we just put it up for someone else to grab. So this is not strictly a spotlight. This is a little bit bigger than this. So this is basically the migration of single cloud GCP Kubernetes SIG infra to multi-cloud environment with Fastly, AWS. We now have Azure. We have now DigitalOcean and all of this stuff. So this would be the main focus for this topic.
All right, like I will take this into consideration and make questions around these as well. So
Perfect.
And I can also point you to specific folks that will be
yeah,
helpful.
that's great. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be great. Like I will reach out to you like home to DM.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I can. Yeah, I will get my questions reviewed by you. So in that way, I will get to know that whether my questions are in line to what you are suggesting as well.
Yeah, let's do this. Sounds good.
Thank you for being willing to take this on and to roll with the punches there, Concha. Mario is also a member of Kate's Infra, so he knows that work very deeply. So make sure you talk with him about it.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So I'm going to move that to in progress. Woo! So many SIG spotlights this year. We're rocking it. Thank you, everyone, for all of the work that you're putting into that. And we
Do
only
you
have.
want my GitHub like user handle for assigning me the issue?
So I can't
Or
actually.
Yeah, if you're not org member, you cannot be assigned. So what you
Oh,
can do
okay.
is what you can do is you can post under the issue /assign, and then it is getting assigned to you. So this is the easiest way for non-org members to assign tickets to themselves. So you can always assign it to yourself.
Okay, got it.
I just turned that into an issue.
Yeah, you need to first turn it into an issue. Yeah, right. That's the only requirement.
Aha.
And now
Here's the link. Putting it in the chat. So
get
Akansha,
on
if you
it.
want to
Now-
go in there and assign yourself, do /assign and then your GitHub handle. I can't do it, but you can.
Yep, I will do so. Thank you.
Cool. Mario, is there anything else?
No, no. I think you can even leave the GitHub handle free, so you just /assign, then it automatically takes yourself. But I'm not
Oh.
sure. Yeah, but I
That
think
might
this
be
works.
true. Yeah, I think that is a thing. Try that. Thank you, Frederico, for joining. We are a minute to the end of our scheduled time here. So any last items that folks want to go over?
Oh yeah, /assign work. Like it assigned it to me. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great.
Yay. Thank you for doing that.
Should be able to open issues as well, right? Non-contributed members can open issues.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
not
have
from
to-
the board. The problem
No,
is, I
right,
think
yeah.
when it's in the board, then it's in this weird. It's not an issue, but it's already in the org state, and that's the main thing.
Got it.
Yeah, but you can do the things. It's just a little tricky with the tools sometimes. Arpit, hand up.
If I'm not wrong, there is a blog about like some case infra budgets. I think.
Oh yes. There was a thing at one point where we wanted to do a blog about Kate's infra budgets. I was also wondering about that. Do we want to put that in as a separate blog? Do we want to try to work that into this one? What do you think, Mario?
I mean, potentially, what you could do is you could do one spotlight and one what happened last year. And what happened last year heavily ties into the budget. because the main reason why we did all of this moving was because we ran out of budget in GCP, and we needed to get extra budget for GCP, and then we moved basically to AWS. And there's a post that is coming up regularly, basically every Monday, where you can see how much we have spent. The good thing is we even or there's even more budget information, but this is not shared because it's a not so easy process to get those numbers, because they are locked behind a specific portal from some of the vendors. So we have those numbers, and those numbers are not secret, but it's hard to get them. So what you have publicly is the spend budget for GCP and AWS, and we also have graphs in that forecasted when we would run out of money 2023 with GCP, and then how it basically switched over. So I would combine it into a whole storyline with budget and what happened last year, because this budget alone is just, nobody cares. Just the migration story is the interesting one, I guess, but the budget is part of the migration story.
Yeah, so I think same post. I put a note in the issue to remember to check that out. We are now 2 minutes over. Anything else? All right. Thank you everyone for joining today. I do have another meeting to get to, but I can probably spare a few minutes if folks wanted to take a look at the draft slides for the new contributor.
Oh, I'd like
meeting.
to. I have to drop though for another meeting as well.
Okay. We could do it another time.
Yeah, let's move it, and I will also add the slides that I have prepared.
Yeah, we also did want to do some kind of initial reviews, so we'll try to
Yeah.
do that on another meeting. Thanks for being
Thanks.
interested in it.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining today.
Bye.
We will see you all next time.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.